So the only way to destabilize a constellation, right, a fixed point to which we all orient, and in this case, Jake and the Neverland Pirates is the constellation, the patriarchal constellation to which the kids are orienting, is to provide another source of light. Something that was done in this class was Vivian, Gus, and Paley's drama time stories. Is anybody in here familiar with that? Okay. Drama time stories mean the children individually or in pairs dictate a story to the teacher, who then types it out, and then they act it out in front of their friends at circle time. So it's a very, very routinized but free way of telling stories. And within that, we find alternative iconographies. I decided that it would be kind of fun to look at creating an alternative book about pirates. And this was certainly stepping beyond my non-interventionist frame, but this exchange disturbed me because those girls never got to be pirate captains. And there was a lot of time spent exploring this boy's feelings about how they couldn't be pirate captains while the girls listened to some continuing gendered violence for upwards of 20 minutes. And there was nothing that could be done. So I thought, you know, it'd be nice to have a book or some competing media about girls and pirate captains, even if it's not my sort of liberal fantasy where there's lots of pictures of girls swashbuckling and slitting throats and being, you know, being wild. I wanted just some other kind of narrative present. So I thought I would try with that. I do a lot of arts-based work. So we know that arts-based work with children in particular can emphasize children as agentive and their work as a vehicle for change, especially if you bind it up and make it look published, and then it seems really official to them. I think Prosser and Burt continue, adult researchers are in the background and act as assistants to the children, and this repositions adults a little bit, so I felt better. And within that, we can look at Power's work on YPAR, which is one way of engaging youth in the social action, but I really wasn't sure how to frame that for preschool, and certainly how to use it to destabilize the pirate situation. So what I ultimately did was I drew on Gus and Paley and had the children individually and in pairs come and tell me stories about pirates. And I thought we would have a pirate book, and we would then have another text to compete with this really rigid, really dominant popular cultural text that was happening in the preschool. And again, this is about halfway there. I haven't really thought about it. And everybody drew pictures, and I apologize, the color isn't quite what it is here. This is a story from one child, and boys and girls both did this. Once upon a time, there was Rosie, Susan, and Ava. They were blue pirates. They played in a castle. Then they went to sleep. They had a good rest. They woke up when the sun was up. They played one more time. They ate eggs and watermelon. They planted roses in the garden. They painted. They went to school. They washed their hands and dried their hands. They played. They were captains, rather notably. And so we had this in the book, and they also acted this story out. Here's one. This is from a male student. Then there was a white bunny. And then there was another white bunny. And then there was a baby bulldog. And then there was a blue ninja turtle. And they went to fight some pirates on the pirate ship. Then they sailed on their ninja ship on the 7 seas. They got to an island and found a treasure. It was candy treasure. Then they went back home to eat the candy treasure. Then they went to sleep in their ninja home, and that was the end. Here's another one. Once upon a time, there was a unicorn. She ate ice cream, and then she turned into a pirate with princess hair and had so many toys. And then a person on a bicycle was waiting at the pirate's house, and they had ice cream and they carved a pumpkin. And then a mermaid came, and it said, "Why did you turn into a pirate?" The pirate didn't answer. It was very quiet. The end. And this is the last one. Once upon a time, there was a big butterfly, and then there was a big blue squished monster, and then there was a pretty pink dancing pony, and she was pink with some pink hair. And then there was a dress-up girl, and then they played with Play-Doh, and then they went to bed. And then they went to a toy store, and they got all the toys, and then they wanted to play at the dancing pink pony's house, and so they had a play date and played with strawberries, and they tossed them in their mouth and ate the strawberries, and they were not interested in being pirates. Okay. So I got some stories, we acted them out, but I still don't feel like I really destabilized much. We did have a good time talking about pirates, and I felt like afterwards people could think about playing the pirate game a little bit differently. And rather notably in these narratives, not so much this one who was not interested in pirates, which was fine, is that we had pirates who were doing ordinary things. And that's really interesting to me because the pirate narrative that was acted out in terms of Jake and the Neverland Pirates, where there could be no girl pirate captains, that the pirates, they were never doing ordinary things. And a touchstone of children's stories at this age is almost always you have fantasy characters, but they're doing ordinary things because that's within the realm of possibility for those children. So for example, you would get much more, let's say Spider-Man has a nap and goes to his friend's house. It's still Spider-Man and it's still exciting, but they're doing ordinary preschool things. In these stories, the pirates are doing things. They're eating eggs, they're eating strawberries, they're playing with the pink dancing pony, they're doing things that are within the realm of what children can imagine. And that's very different than the way that the pirate game typically happened, in the sense that they were never doing ordinary things. They were doing things that were dictated directly from the television script by Rory.